is kinda snuffy, cold chill up your spine. You'll get your ass moving somewhere burning daylight.
Howdy there, I'm Matt McKinley and we're burning daylight.
In the saddle till the job's done right.
Welcome to Burnin' Daylight, the only podcast for the working cowboy. He just don't give a shit. He'll go till he, just absolutely can't.
Yep.
So, that's what everybody likes about him. So it sucks that he's out, but hopefully he comes back strong next year. But I don't know. The Wright boys have just taken over the saddle bronc event. It's nothing but Wrights from Milford, Utah.
I know
I'm pretty sure they have their own cheering section, like one whole big ass section at every event now.
I think so. Well, they're right in the heart of Mormon country, so they gotta feed that church. So a lot of babies in that area.
Yeah. I still think it's the 1900s. 7 of them are gonna die from like smallpox.
Yeah, except all 7 of them are in the top 15 in the world of saddle bronc.
Exactly.
It's just like, well, we've got enough of our food stored up for a year, and now the church says we can go rodeo. So rodeo they did.
Yeah.
Jake, what's up, buddy? I haven't talked to you in a bit.
Man, not shit. Same old. About done with calving season and hauling season and everything else season. Now it's goddamn high of 80 fucking degrees today, and
oh shit.
It's fucking terrible. Everything's getting fucking sick, and pneumonia's just lovely with hot and cold. Good shit.
Yeah, we had about 3 inches of snow. We probably had about 1.5 inches of rain. Maybe that's exaggerating. We had a good amount of rain. I'd say probably at least a 1/2 inch, maybe more, and then probably about 3 inches of snow. And it was a cold, wet bastard today, and I hated it. I was a bitch-made cowboy today. I tried to get inside at all costs.
Riding the old feed pickup.
Oh fuck, man! It was you'd get done with one alley, and I had to do the old embrace the suck thing, and it's like I could stretch this whole pin riding job out for all day long if I needed to, but I'll just ride this one alley, and then I can have this side of the yard done, and then I'll go get coffee. But I was really, like, I could taste the coffee as I was like leaving that last pin. It was I couldn't get back to the barn fast enough.
Yes, yeah.
It's one of those ones where you want to break every rule of ranch horsemanship and let your horse just haul ass back to the barn just so you can get there faster, but you can't. But it's always right there in your mind.
Wait, you don't do that shit?
It won't hurt.
Yeah, it's always like, just one time it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then
it's a lot like heroin, so I've heard. One time leads to another, and
Well, it leads to a lot of fights later on down the road. It just, it feels good that one time, and then you're just like, fuck.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Kind of like masturbation, it feels real good while you're doing it, but in the end, you just fuck yourself.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. And you're just like, well, I mean, was it worth it? I don't know. Kinda at the time.
Yeah. Yes,
Would I do it again? Probably. I do enjoy the fan cam at the NFR because as country people we do represent and the just awesome people on camera. Just like some of these goobers that they focus on is quite funny.
I tell you what I've enjoyed even better than that is, and it's been every fucking day, every hour on the hour watching whether it's on the Cowboy channel or down Facebook or TikTok or whatever, is the amount of them stupid fucking hats that them dumb bitches wear with the C's embedded in them.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever that bastard is making, his retirement is great because that dumb bitch has got 100,000 of them everywhere.
I know. I wish I would have invented the Tim McGraw black straw hat.
Gotcha.
Like my kids, you know, like my great grandkids would have been taken care of. Just every year you get this. You don't have to do shit, but come the first week of December, you get just a fat paycheck from the NFR from all the gunsels buying Tim McGraw hats.
Man, it is. I just can't believe it. I tell you what, just kind of take this in perspective. They've got let's just say you go to the American and you go, and they are advertising. I can't remember the damn name of the hotel in Fort Worth. And so they was like, hey, we got to look at it. I was like, oh yeah, it'd be great. That motherfucker was $900 fucking a night for the experience, and I quote, the experience of Fort Worth. And I thought, what in the actual fuck is experience? And I mean, unless it's coming with like 2 grams of some white girl, a couple of hookers, I mean, that's different. But this is shit. That's ridiculous.
Well, Fort Worth, what?
Charlie Sheen better be in my room partying with me.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good run.
Yeah.
I don't know. These guys, whoever's running their feed, needs to do a better job of putting the time up on the screen during the roping events, because otherwise we end up sounding like Joe Bieber. Like, I think that was like a 4-2, 4-3, 4-5. Yeah.
Did y'all see the game that you're supposed to play when you're watching it? Is every time Joe Bieber says, "Well, I talked to," and whoever it was last night, that's when he's supposed to take 2 shots. You'll be drunk as shit before fucking tie down and get started.
That's yeah. You'd have to do shots of beer if you're doing that game, because otherwise, like, somebody might be held in some sort of criminal liability for the amount of alcohol poisoning. Because, allegedly.
It's crazy, man. This is the first I watched. I watched one round the other night, and this is the first time I ever watched the NFR, and Donnie Gay didn't sound like an auctioneer smoking crack.
Mm-hmm.
That's an age getting up on him.
Yeah, well, you know, he. I don't know if anybody listened to the episode I put out, or the latest Fence Post Politics, but Viagra now is thought to treat Alzheimer's. So, like, as if Viagra wasn't already popular among the horny old fucks.
Right. My
God. Like, the amount of just old man boners going to be walking around here in the next few years is going to be astounding.
Yeah, it could be worse.
It could be worse.
Workout leader at a hot dog eating contest.
You get old men fighting in the parking lot, and they both just got raging hard-ons. They're like, "Yeah, I saw her first, you some bitch."
Fucking running around humping legs like a horny cocker spaniel and throwing their hips out.
There's like 6 old fucks in the grocery store trying to pinch the one little like stock girl's ass.
Oh man.
Oh shit. And because it's Alzheimer's medicine, they'll be like, "I remember when your grandma was way into me back in the day."
See, that's one reason. The only thing I can think of be cool about getting old is you can kind of say or do whatever the fuck you want, and no one can really say anything to you.
Yeah, and like as long as you don't run for office, you could probably get away with the grab ass shit too. Like,
yeah, exactly.
As long as you don't try to hold office, like, I mean, that's kind of it. Otherwise, they're just like, hey, he's kind of a creepy old guy, but I mean,
well, he's old, let him make it.
Yeah, they're just like, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I do look forward to that point. Like, I already kind of don't give a fuck what I say, but I watch it a little bit. Man, when I truly don't give a fuck, it's gonna be it'll be the best podcast ever.
Yeah.
By that time, though, we're going to hope that every good illicit drug will be on the market, and it'll be great to go, and it'll just be fun.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully I'm not in this same setup by then, but or maybe I will just because like I'll get rich, but just keep this setup.
Right.
Keep the shitty internet and everything, just because cowboy shit.
Yeah. I didn't know there was such a thing as good internet. You got like in the middle of a fucking city somewhere.
I know.
Hey.
I would. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Man, it's actually kind of nice, this place out here. I'm 45 miles from town, and I have a fiber optic cable internet.
Mm.
Oh, it's fantastic. I love it.
Hell yeah. I keep getting emails from Starlink because I put in a deposit on Starlink, and they were said initially they said November is when it was gonna be here in our area. Then I got another email that said December, and then January of 22. And I'm just like, God damn it, Elon! It's only $100 I gave you, but still, I want some fast internet.
Them bastards looked at me and laughed and said, "Here's a fucking satellite shit. Have fun." And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. You're in Arkansas. You guys got a lot of trees down there in Arkansas, right?
Yeah, I mean we cut more. I found out the other day we have more pecan and pine plantation crop wise, especially in my county, than anybody else in the state, and we're one of the top producers of that shit in the South. So we got a bunch of bullshit. All it is. But
well, yeah, that probably won't work for Starlink because you got to have like a clear view of the sky for it to work.
Well, I can do it, but I'll have to go about 80 acres across the way to get it done, and I'm pretty sure I don't think their shit will reach that far.
That's a lot of money and copper to run wire out that far.
Yeah, and I know a lot of meth heads, and I know them bastards that dig that shit up by the morning.
Oh fuck yeah. Arkansas, are you guys? You guys have got to be top 5 in as far as like athletic meth heads, right?
Oh, yeah, and
Did you catch that?
Yeah.
I didn't catch none of that.
No, I think the meth heads dug up his cell connection there.
God damn.
Yeah, the holler got to him. He dropped down into a holler.
Yeah,
must have.
What state would you put as number 1 though for the method, like athletic methods?
Athletic meth heads, I would put it probably like Mississippi or Alabama.
And I was gonna go Florida.
Florida's close, but I think they got too much coke down there. I think they got.
You think anyone who lives in that fucking shithole state is gonna freaking have the money for cocaine if they're not old?
Well, see, the thing is though, it's not so much they have the money for it; it's just that everybody's in the business, so they have access to it.
So yeah, man, I lived in that shithole. I say it's a shithole. The people there are shit. And it sucks. You can't hardly rope shit there, but the weather's kind of cool. But it's just,
yeah, I've never been down into Florida. We went down to Biloxi, Mississippi on my senior trip, and so that was about as far like southeast as I went. I've been on the East Coast up like from DC north. I've been kind of up and down there a little bit, and then I went down to Charleston, but like that swamp shit, I've never really been down into there.
See, I have, and it's great. They don't really like long trot out horses there either too much. They have this like weird, like fast, like not like just long ass walk that they do. It's crazy, kind of strange.
Well, if I remember right, like so you get out west, like California, Great Basin area, you got the Vaquero Buckaroos, and then you got the Punchers down in Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma area. And then I guess you just like standard like group it all cowboy like kind of everywhere else. But like Florida, it's like the crackers is what they call them. And
cracking with cow whips.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
So
that's what
like
my mom.
I need
Go
to
ahead.
get some Florida guys, like some of those guys that have been down in that country for a long time on the
Uh,
show. Cause
there's one in
that's
the Prairie Pimp. I think his name's Austin.
okay.
Heck, mom's from Florida. Heck, she grew up freaking hell. Her dad used to run Unit 7 of Deseret. My granddad used to run Unit 7 of Deseret down there.
Mm.
He also ran EK. Heck, my great granddad was one of the biggest cattlemen in the state of Florida before. Heck, he sold the land to Walt Disney.
Oh, no shit. What,
No shit.
was he Mormon?
No, that's the reason why I couldn't get over freaking being that unit foreman. My
Mm.
granddad, he couldn't get over being a unit foreman because he wasn't,
I
Mormon.
wondered. I was wondering about that. Yeah, because when you said he ran that place, and I was like, I wonder if that's like as high as he could get.
Yeah, he got as high to Unit 7, and then he couldn't get no
Yeah.
more than that.
So I dated a gal for a little while that was cattle clerk at Deseret Feedlot there in Kansas, and
Yes.
same thing. Like that was about as high of a position she was going to get within Deseret because she wasn't Mormon.
Yeah. Man, that is a cool freaking ranch. That's a big some bitch too. Largest
Yeah,
cow.
yeah. Because what do they have? Like I forget how many. I used to
Man,
know the numbers on that, but it's big fucking ranch. I know that.
They said it's the largest cow calf operation in the United States
Yeah, yeah. And
by a long
what it
shot.
was. I'm throwing out this number and it might be complete bullshit, but wasn't it like 80,000 mama cows?
Something like that.
Yeah, and
Freaking
I know that
insane.
sounds ridiculous, but I think
Yeah,
that was it was something like it was a stupid number like that. I know that.
I know. Let's say in Florida on improved pasture out there, you can run damn near a cow an acre.
Mm-hmm.
And but a lot of their shit swamp. But like I think just the Unit 7, freaking my granddad was on had like fucking almost 10 or 12,000. They got
Mm-hmm.
like 14 units out there.
Shit, man. That's like over in New Zealand. They don't feed any cattle out over there because they got enough grass. Where it's like a cow and a half an acre, basically
Yeah.
is what they're doing over there. That's
Yeah,
just insane.
yeah.
What's about the average of y'all? I mean, what would y'all say everywhere's different, I know, but what would y'all consider a good number?
So like out here is a little different. Like if you're in the valley and you got access to irrigated ground, I mean you can pack those pretty tight because you just got you flood your field and you get pretty good grass growth on it. But like once you get outside the valleys and you're into that high desert, I mean shit, you're looking at a pair per like 100, 110, 150 acres, something like that. I mean, like
Yeah.
you like they all these cows out here got a little leg to them because they got to go hunt for some grass.
Right.
And I don't know what exactly it is they eat out on that desert, but they do okay on it, but they got to work for it.
Yeah, I was actually talking to an old man back, probably 4 or 5 months ago, and this new place we bought, surprisingly, I mean, we've got a shit ton of grass. Even right now, we've got a shit ton of grass. And he was talking. He said he can remember back in the day they would run before Purina was doing their shit, and before Rail Grow and all that good shit. He was saying he would have no problem running one cow per 3 acres or so. And I thought, holy shit, man, like what was, but they didn't believe in the extra supplemental feed either. I mean, but times have changed quite a fucking bit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, what type of grass is that over in your area, Rowdy? Is that's there? I know there's still some buffalo grass over in.
Freaking,
Yeah.
See, some blue stem, not a whole hell of a lot, but there's some. But it's mostly just buffalo grown.
Yeah, man. When you get a good spring, that grass is about as good as it gets.
Oh yeah, packs
Like
it on fast.
Like it's got some pop to it. They just do well.
Yeah, Then that, I mean, you hate that volcanic soil, freaking all that volcanic, shit out here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they put in it. I don't know what the mineral composition, all that good stuff is, but it'll freaking pack the weight on a good year.
Yeah. On those droughty years, it's a little tough. But I mean, that's anywhere. But I mean, that's about as good a grass as you're gonna get in a drought too. Is that buffalo?
Yeah. It's like you ain't got to worry about it dying completely the hell out. It'll just shrink down some. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. But that sod goes deep on that shit. So
yeah.
Yeah, it's they never should have plowed up a bit of it when they moved west, because it was like that the whole like high plains area, the short grass prairie, that just should have been grazing country, but they plowed it up, and boy, like I can't imagine the horse it took to plow through that shit.
Yeah.
Bad
Like
motherfucker.
that, yeah, like that. We don't have much use for a draft horse anymore. There's outside of like a few niche operations, but like, man, that used to be a big industry. Like, big part of the horse industry was the draft.
It's crazy. So were oxen. Like you look back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever seen an oxen in person. Like, I've never seen.
No, I don't think so either.
And that used to be, I mean, very, very prevalent. Like, hell, everyone had one type deal.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like there's like I could buy a horse who might colic, or I can just have this steer that I teach to drive, and if he dies, well, shit, I'll get another one.
Yeah.
And but like it was far more economical than a horse. They just for as a just like a draft animal, but.
Yeah.
Man, they that was a big industry, and then it just kind of went away.
Yeah. We got the conversation the other day talking at the firehouse about me and a couple of different guys and the difference in the new era rancher versus the old era. We're still using horses and that the more manual type Western shit. And one of them, man, I mean, that's all he's ever done. And he sold everything he owned and made the comment. He said, well, he said, it kind of sucks. He said, but I've got my shit now so bunk broke that it don't matter. I can go out there, rattle an empty bag, and everything comes running. I said, well, that's great. But you've always, and for us in this area, you've got that crazy fucking brimmer or that Charolais cross motherfucker that's going to act ignorant. And what are you going to do? And of course, the theory of a little bit of nylon and a little bit of Drax and a little bit of rock would cure most of everything. But it's hard to do that in a fucking Polaris.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's as much as technology has changed shit, like there's still no better way to work cattle than a horseback.
I agree. I agree.
Like I would say, like when you're processing yearlings, yeah, that's when a chute and a tub comes in handy. But as far as just like sheer moving them around, there's no better way than doing it a horseback.
Damn straight.
And a good set of dogs helps a shit ton.
Hey, dogs.
See that's a debate to be had for all ages. Like I've seen some really good dogs and I've seen some really poor dogs, and more often than not, you ask you'd be better off telling a guy to go fuck his mother than to put his dogs away. It's just like don't like your dog and fighting words almost immediately.
So I'll tell him to put a blue heeler up real quick. I ain't gonna give him the time of day. I never met one that was worth a damn.
We've had some good ones. We've had some shit ones. But like most of our calves, I mean, I don't know if you can even see her. Like, hear your truck and come run it where that mama did. But I mean, we've had some good sets of. A buddy of mine used to run Cavahula, and they ran great. But you'd always after about your fourth one get a bad taste in your mouth because one of them would be shit. But I mean, it's just one of them deals because we got a healer right now, and we kind of have been that route. But if you're a small, I mean, if you're not smaller, if you're a smaller man-powered operation, it does help. It is beneficial if you have a good dog. If you have a mediocre dog, you're doing double, triple the work.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of Catahoulas, Cody Demas, I'm glad Cody Demas is in the NFR. It feels right when a Demas is in there.
I wish you had the porn stash again.
I know.
That's the only part that's disappointing to me.
Yeah, he had a good ride there. Not the best horse, but pretty good ride.
What was the winning time on the team roping?
I didn't even see. We got to bullshitting, and I didn't pay much attention. I like those right boys just fine, but my God, they have inflated their scores so fucking much.
Yep.
Yep.
That,
I agree.
My word. Stetson Wright, they gave him, or was it Ryder Wright? No, I think it was Stetson. They gave him a 91 or 95.5 the other night.
Yep.
And I was like, holy shit, man, that was a good ride. It was hovering right around that 90-point range, I thought. But 95.5, I was like, you could have called him a 90 and he would have won the round. But why pump it up?
Because they wanted to get that old up of his,
Yeah, I just man, there's no need to inflate it that much.
That's how I feel about Casey Fields, bareback. He gets scored way better than he should.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's world champion. I mean, one of the best, arguably.
Nobody's saying they're shitty riders. It's just like all the in basketball when they bitch about LeBron and whoever getting calls nobody's saying they can't play, but we're just saying they get favorable calls, and that's the same way with those rides. Is man, they're hellaciously badass riders, but goddamn, you don't have to suck their dicks so hard.
Yep. It reminds me of the fucking Trevor Brazil.
I missed where he's going with it.
Your meth head struck again.
God damn it, bastards. I said it reminds me of the Trevor Brazil era. Man, I mean, that bastard won, 20-something fucking all-arounds or whatever. I'm like, dude, how the fuck does that happen?
Because, I would say it's a little different in timed events, though.
Yeah.
You got it. It's pretty decisive in that regard.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, it is to a point, but you got to.
Yeah, but even on the team roping the other night, I was like, God damn, they are late on the flag there. That steer would be stretched out.
Yeah.
And then they'd almost at the point where they're getting ready to pop their dally, and then they drop the flag, and you're just like, shit, man, that steer had been stretched for at least a couple tenths already.
That's what I'm talking about. Like that shit. I mean, I'm not saying. Now, granted, I will make this statement. There is a difference between a professional roper who is out there with the same good calves or good steers or whatever on a weekend basis every time versus crazy ass 45, 64 Charolais mix. I mean, that's a little bit different versus that. And so with that regard, if my sponsor sent me $100 fucking rope every time I threw rope, I mean, I'd probably get okay at it. But the flag time, that was a killer because I'm like, man, I mean, I like, obviously bull riding and stuff, but now at some point, the flag time it's got to have some consistency to it. And if you go back and watch some of the older videos, you can see a whole lot more consistent. The number were sort of together. And then the other day, I think they had 4 guys throwing the 7s, and I'm thinking, dude, 10 years ago there have been 5.56, 6.5 runs all day long, but it's all in the flagging.
Yeah, there's that, and then I don't know. There's always that politics behind it, but And I understand why PRCA would want to push these right boys anyways, because I mean that the talent is fucking obvious. They can knock a hole in on anything with hair on it. You know, they've shown that. But and then they're like good clean cut type people, so I get them wanting to kind of elevate them, but still it's about being the best. It's not about being who sells the best. It's just like that's the thing where it always, that's where like talent and money always, that's where they collide.
They got that pretty boy band type face to them, and so they're wanting to push that as a face of the company, rather than like the wild man Wade Sundell, who's missing most of his teeth and kind of looks like a crackhead.
Exactly. Who, if they would pay a little bit of attention, they would realize is also just as marketable as the Wright family. Because there's guys like us that will go, like I'd pay money to go watch Wade Sundell, but I'm not going to pay money to go watch a Wright brother.
Hell, I have paid money to rodeos just because I knew Wade Sundell was going to be in there.
Yeah. And it just like and I made memes and about Wade Sundell getting bucked off, but like it's also like if he saw it, he'd probably get a chuckle out of it too. So
hell yeah, he would.
Like, so like that's why I make him, and that's why but that's why he's a crowd favorite, and he's I don't know, it's just once you get like on that big kind of corporate level, like nobody wants to like step outside like this little neat little box of what people are supposed to be, and that's kind of where the Utah boys kind of fit in. Is clean cut, they don't swear, they all shucks golly gee type folks that can really spur down a bronc, and but that's
fuck those guys.
But that's exactly exactly. But that's why this is why I call my podcast the podcast for the working cowboy, because I've worked with working cowboys, and they're not like, I mean, there's a few like that, but for the most part, they're just fucking guys that happen to ride a horse pretty decent. But they still have the same dick jokes that your guy at the office has. They just happen to we usually
probably
tell
worse.
A little bit better. We got the same jokes. I just think we have a better delivery.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, hell, Cowboys.
And but PRCA doesn't want to. As an organization, they don't want to promote that side of that. They want to have like the Chris Ledoux success, but not with like the backstory of how Chris Ledoux got to where he was. They don't like that part of drinking beer and selling his tapes out of the back of a car. They just like the part where he's representing rodeo,
Yeah, they would not have liked Ross Coleman joining the NFR in that sense, because if I remember right, the dude was sponsored by Bud Light, and he freaking hit a damn Cowboy before he got on and directly right afterward.
Well, speaking of like the flagmen, have you noticed? I know, Rowdy, you said you only watched one round, but Jake, I know you've kind of been watching.
Yeah,
like they've had 3 or 4 times where the Gateman pulled early, and I was like, I'm like, dude, you got one job. You pull the gate when they say.
I was fucking. I got just plumb fucking mad the other day. I watched, and it was on bull, and I've seen it more on bull riding than I have any other event. I'm talking about straight running. Dude ain't even thinking about nodding and fucking here come the latch. Like, well, fuck, okay. And
did they do it to JB, or was that another guy?
Yes.
Yes.
No, that was JB, because I mean, and I'm not trying to jump on the JB thing. I think there's a reason why his fucking name is, you know what I mean? Like, he's somebody, but
yeah.
I mean, I give everybody the same benefit of a doubt, but damn, you can't yank that fucking latch open that damn quick and expect shit to happen just perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but they had one last night too. It wasn't JB. I forget who it was, but
man, it wasn't Kai. It was shit. I'll have to think about it.
But he ended up about a half jump behind and got bucked off.
Yep.
Because of it, and it's like, goddamn, you have one job.
Man,
you
after
pull
riding
when
buck
they say,
horses, I've come to realize Gatemen are retarded. Like there's
oh
there's
yeah,
none of them with an IQ of above about 40.
that
Like they're rocking like
Gatemen
Forrest Gump, but
are
without
the
all the
bull
cool shit.
haulers of the rodeo world.
Yeah, like so they're like Forrest Gump without everything that made Forrest Gump cool. You know, just retarded. Like just
they got just as many stories, but none of them you want to hear.
They're the
like,
ones that pull up
one
and
time
you're
I
like,
hit the
God
window.
damn this guy.
Yeah.
And even if you don't want to hear it, they're gonna tell you 4 times right in a row.
Oh yeah, twice. Yeah.
No, that was it's just so funny that Wade Sundell like did a dirty 89.5 point ride, like earned every bit of that ride. That was a dirty fucking bronc, like kind of an ugly ride, but like, you know, just like earned every bit of it, and then gets one jumped by his fucking saddle horse. God damn it. It's just so funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know what my pride would do. Like I don't know. I think I'd go like hang myself in the bathroom at the hotel type deal.
I know,
If
and
that
just
happened,
like you feel bad for him, but at the same time, you're just like, God damn it, man! You know I can't not make fun of you for this.
exactly. It's like whenever you get bucked off at a branding, like it's
Yeah,
like you're just like, oh fuck, you know,
yeah.
I'm gonna hear about this for the next
Exactly.
10 fucking years.
Somebody
Yeah,
had made
and he's probably like, hey, yeah, I'm still riding high off of that day money from last night, so I'm all good, bro. Make all the memes you want.
somebody made the comment the other day about it, like, oh well, look, that's great. He got bucked off by I think it was Donna K. Rule. That's it's Donna K's. That was her barrel horse. I thought, God dang, man.
I saw a bunch of comments. It wasn't on any of my stuff, but I saw a bunch of comments of like Team Wade Sundell was getting all sorts of butthurt about the memes and stuff, and I was like, man, you guys need to just calm down.
Take the dick out of your mouth, and
yeah, I just, you know, this, if you're gonna cowboy, and I say that term loosely because rodeo cowboying and cowboying ain't the same thing. It's but if you're gonna be in that world and you can't take a little jab when you get bucked off your grand entry horse, then well, you don't. And like, I haven't seen anything from Wade getting pissed off about it. It's just his fanboys that are just like, oh, it's not funny. He's out of the finals now. Well, of course that part's not funny. I mean, it's still kind of damn funny. Like, it sucks, but it's funny.
Those guys
yeah,
drink.
like the aftermath is cheap, but the situation itself is hilarious.
Yeah, I just, like, you can't write like a more obvious case of irony where he's, like we were saying, I wouldn't say he's in the conversation for the best of all time, but I'd put him in the top 10 pretty easy.
Yeah, for sure. Pretty easy top 10, maybe top 5, arguably.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good argument to put him in the top 5. But I'd say he's an easy top 10 of all time. And one of the best, you know, the biggest crowd favorites of all time.
What
And
betters, like, I mean, it doesn't matter who it would have happened to, whether it been him or been whoever, it's still gonna be funny.
yeah, it's yeah, you get bucked off, it's gonna be funny, but just the whole, when you put all the situation up there where you like, he's one of the favorites, just known to be the wild man. He's coming off of winning the round the night before on just a dirty tough ride, and then gets one jumped on a saddle horse. Like, it just, you couldn't write a funnier script.
Yeah.
Carrying a flag.
Yeah, carrying a flag. And he never let the flag go. Never once dropped the flag.
That's one thing I will say about Wade Sundell is I like him a whole lot better than every. He rides till the fuck he's not, you know. He's
exactly.
I mean, I think the Wright boys are kind of in the same, like, they're not as entertaining. They're like Ed Bauer. Like, Ed Bauer, probably the best of all time. But he was not entertaining to watch.
Yeah. he's
He was not-
like
He was a
Khabib.
robot up there, you know.
Yeah, he's like watching Khabib fight. Like
Exactly.
he's gonna lay 2 or 3 good strikes just to open up enough where he can take you to the ground, and then he's just gonna maul the shit out of you
Yep.
as long as you last. Because once he has you down, you're not getting up. It's just like
Yep.
you just know that, and you respect the shit out of him. He's probably one of the greatest fighters of all time, but. The only fight that I've ever paid to watch him fight was when he fought Conor McGregor.
Yep.
And so was I paying to watch him? Yes, kinda, but it was more because of Conor.
Yeah, man, watching it could be that's a good comparison. It's like kind of watching two flies fuck. It's just not really.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, exactly. You want Conor McGregor, Tony Ferguson every time, or just
Yep.
what was that fight the other? It was Gaethje and Michael Chandler, just fucking fireworks for
Yeah.
3 solid rounds, like just nothing but bombs being thrown, and just like
Hey.
you're just like you feel like you're in the fucking Coliseum all of a sudden. You're just like throwing bread at the fighters, just
have you ever heard?
just have it. Yep.
Have you ever watched? It was a couple years old, but it was I think it was Kyle Botniak versus Zabit Nurmagomedov Sharipov, like long ass name, but dude, that is the fucking best fight I've ever seen in the UFC.
I'll have to check that out. I've got Fight Pass, so I'll look that up. But what was the dude that fought Sugar Sean O'Malley here? It was O'Malley's last fight, but he hit this dude in the face so many fucking times, and he just would not go down. And like eventually they called it, and it was like 15. It was like. Man, it might have only been like 5 seconds left in the fight, and they finally TKO'd him. But like the guy was just like staggering forward and just getting like combos, like, and he just kept coming, and you're just like, Jesus Christ, like that must be what it's like fighting a zombie.
Yeah.
He kind of reminded me of the early Forrest Griffin with the steel chin until he got the shit rocked, and then he's not that anymore. But yeah, it's kind of the same.
Yeah.
Like Chuck Liddell
That's
early
kinda
in
like-
his career.
Yeah, that's kind of like Stipe. Once he got his bell rung, he hasn't been like quite as Iron Man like.
Yeah, Daniel Lewis, we can
Mm.
wreck his shit.
Man, D. Lewis, that's the one where like I don't know if I'd ever bet on Derek Lewis, because it's either going to be an awesome fight or it's gonna pull out a dud,
Get
like
mauled.
his last
If
one.
he goes to the ground, he's
Yeah.
fucked.
Well, in that last fight, man, he was just God. He looked so slow.
Yeah, but if he hits you, I mean, he's fucking, launching your jaw
Yeah.
about 40 yards past where your head is.
Yeah, that's the thing. He only has to hit you once. Him
Yeah.
and Ngannou. That Ngannou is a frightening man. Holy shit.
That is,
Like,
yeah.
oh, like when he's walking around at like 280, like a jacked 280 as is walking.
See, that's how
around,
Brock
like-
Lesnar was. Brock Lesnar had to cut to make 265. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, just straight Viking blood.
and freaking, I mean, just like 9 foot fucking tall, and like that's a different kind of genetics. Like,
Oh, that's yeah, like Adolf Hitler would have creamed his pants seeing Brock Lesnar. I mean, that's straight there.
like, I mean,
Yeah,
definitely.
Well,
he's just
I gotta go in and get the kiddos ready for bed and get ready to feed here in the morning. So we'll catch y'all on the flip side.
all right. Good visiting with you, buddy.
Yeah, I'll holler at you later.
All right, sounds good, man.
Easy.
I don't know who won the bronc ride, but Cody Demos had a good ride. I don't know if he's in the money. That's about the only one I paid attention to.
Yeah.
Did you rodeo much?
I ride ranch broncs every chance I get, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the ranch broncs. I've never. Oh, I think the last ranch bronc like I got on for like in a competition when I was 16 maybe, and I just did not like hitting the ground. And I was sticky enough to stay on one, but I wasn't sticky enough to win any money.
Yeah.
I'm a I'm a
It-
I'm a bronc stayer honor, not a bronc stomper.
yeah. Man, I got chingulated at freaking Snyder. That was the last one I was on. That's the October, September. October, I don't know. I can't remember. I'm not real great with the old timeline thing,
Yeah.
but yeah, freaking Gateman Chingo laid the shit out of me. This horse already flipped over once in the chutes right when I put a foot in the middle of his back. So we rolled him up. Freaking Gateman opens the gate about, I say, give him to me. Freaking Gateman opens the gate about a foot and a half. Goes, right now? Yeah. I'm sitting there jobbing this horse. I had enough time to dog cuss this motherfucker before the stock contractor grabs so much by the collar and launches him out. Horse comes out, freaking damn near bucks over top of this dude. He runs up, causing that horse to suck the fuck back. And I stuck to him till freaking that horse damn near hit the out gate. Everyone's standing around the out gate, so we sucked back the other way.
Yeah.
And at that point, I did a plank on my saddle horn and freaking damn near got my dick stepped on.
Oof.
I was 1 inch away from not being very romantic for a while.
Oh, I had the same outcome on we did a wild cow riding deal, and I got stepped on probably an inch and a half away from the tip of the pecker, and but it was one, like, he stepped and he ripped my pants from like mid thigh all the way down to my ankle, and I was just like, "Ooh, that could have been my ball sack." Just like. Ooh.
See, mine wasn't down. Mine was just to the left. Like,
Mm.
it was a dangerous situation.
Yeah, like, and I only had a bruise about that wide, and then initially, and then it spread out as it went. But so he didn't drag his toe all the way down my leg, but like he ripped my pants the whole way, and I was just like, yeah, that if that was your ball sack, like, I know it ain't gonna stretch that far.
Shit, I know a buddy. I know his buddy of mine. Freaking, he was flanking, got kicked, and freaking ripped his ball sack open.
Oof. Yeah,
He lost a nut because of it.
yeah. See, kind of the same thing. My buddy, he was a sponsor of the show for a long time. He was like 13 at a bull riding school and got his nut smashed, and then his dad made him finish out the it was like one of those clinic deals, and made him finish it out, and then they then went to the hospital and they ended up having to remove it, and oof.
Yeah, man, the worst I ever had it. Freaking anything like that. I was trying to load this. Hey, she's like a 6-year-old mare, like she's big, freaking 15.3, probably 1,200-pound chestnut mare, and this bitch, I rode her all over freaking the ranch, everything. She rode around, but I'd never taken her off the ranch, so she didn't know how to load in a trailer.
No.
This bitch decided to pick a time that day to decide to fight. Well, I had a freaking well rope on a freaking halter because she broke like 2 lead ropes already trying to load this bitch. So I had a well rope on there, and that bitch busted through that freaking well rope, went to running backwards, and fired both feet. One went to my side, and freaking the other one caught me dead square, launched me across the freaking pin by my cojones. I was puking. My mom's like, "Oh my God, are you all right?" I said, "Don't let her kick you in the balls. Don't let her kick you in the balls too." Yeah.
That's
the only time
awesome.
I've been hit hard enough, though. I was sitting there, like, literally, I was bent over freaking the barrel we keep beside the chute for freaking setting medicine shit on. I'm like over that some bitch. I mean, puking my guts out. It was the next day I had to ride all day to freaking a sale barn.
Oh fuck! I think it was it had to have been my senior year of college. So it was my beef systems capstone class, and I was doing a group project with my buddy Chris Frentress, who's from up by Steamboat, Hayden, Colorado.
Yeah.
And it was fall semester, so it was like mid October. We went up, and they were bringing their cows in, weaning and preg checking and everything. So we got the calves sorted, and they were kind of a half cowboy operation, like they could all ride, but they did a lot of farmer stuff. But they, like, when it came down to it, if they had to go rope something, you could count on them.
Yeah.
And so, but we got everything sorted and the setups where everything's 90-degree angles.
Yes.
Just built where nothing flows correctly, and you go into the lead up the snake, and there was this one cow that she'd turned back 3 or 4 different times, and she was just stupid. Like, she wasn't aggressive. She just stayed in that corner and spun in circles, and eventually would cut back behind you. And they did everything. Once they had them, everything sorted. It was all on foot. And so eventually I get in there to get this one cow out of the corner, and right as I go to reach to grab her tail and just twist her tail and get her out of that corner, and they had this old lady that ran a few cows with them as a family friend, and didn't know anything about her cows, but she had like 5 or 6 head that she ran with them. Right as I reached for that tail, she reaches up and zaps this bitch in the flank.
Oh.
And I got double barreled, and I looked like fucking Wile E. Coyote, where it's like feet and hands stretched out in front of you, and your hat flies backwards, and 30 years trying to get my breath back. You're just like rolling on the ground, like just trying to get a breath, and just nothing's coming. Boy, it hurt so bad.
Yeah, freaking. Hell, I got
No. Oh, go ahead.
Hell, I got freaking knocked right square in the freaking inside of the thigh. Oh, about a week or so ago. I got these freaking. They're big, stout, pretty piss heads. They're they're long 2-3-year-olds, or coming 3-year-olds. Hey, the smallest one's 14.3 and 950 pounds.
Oh yeah.
And freaking, they all ran wild. One of them halter broke till I got them. Freaking, every one of them will kick you. Freaking, 2 of them will paw you down. They're sure enough, but by God, they're fucking good looking. I paid $400 a piece for them. Actually, a little less than that, but yeah, but fuck around, he caught me through a fucking fence.
Oh,
caught me on the inside of the thigh.
Oh, that right on the inside of the thigh. So it just sounds like you're slapping a ham too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna hear that one across especially down there in your part of New Mexico. You can hear that one echo across the canyon for a while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were listening. They were listening to it 2 days later.
Yeah, you just get that nice little.
Yeah.
Those suck, and then the bruise doesn't even show up till like 2 days later.
Oh no, I bruised damn near immediately on that one.
Oh well, you're a ginger, right? So you probably like somebody looks at you wrong, you bruised.
See, I don't know, man. I don't bruise real easy, but freaking, it shows up.
Yeah.
It stands out pretty good.
See, I'm pretty dark skinned. I'm half Mexican, so I especially in summer I get real dark, and there'll be some times where like I'll be in the shower, and then just all of a sudden I'll be scrubbing down. I'm like, ow, son of a bitch, and there'll be a bruise there, and I'm like, where in the hell did that come? And then I'll have to like think back, and it's usually about a week and a half, 2 weeks before. And then just all of a sudden the bruise shows up, and it's weird.
Yeah. So how did you get them, like immediate or about 2.5, 3 days later?
Yeah. And then the worst ones is like when you get and I guess you probably don't get this quite as much if you ride a wade with squat tids, but if you ride with swells, you get something that just bucks out of nowhere, and you're just like not ready for it at all, and just you get your thighs slapping against those swells before you get a seat. fuck, those ones will get that. That's where the bruises, like they don't show up immediately, but like 2 days later, all of a sudden your thighs are sore as shit. I think that was Corey Solomon that just went.
Oh, there you are.
There we are. Your phone die?
No, I don't know what the hell happened.
Oh,
You
okay.
cut for a second and it cut off.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was I was talking about like when something just blows in two out of nowhere and you're not expecting it at all, and like you get those first 2-3 jumps when you're just smacking up against your swells and before you finally get sat down and get a seat. Like those are the ones that show up like 2 days later. All of a sudden your thighs are just screaming.
Yeah, see, every time I come off a ranch bronc, or hell, most of the time, even my cover one, freaking, I'll be bruised from my kneecap, or from my kneecaps all the way up to my freaking testes.
Really?
I mean, but I don't know. Here, shoot, back when I was riding them good, I was about 190 pounds, but I've grown considerably since then, and the bruises have too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it's funny is like I've always like I think when I graduated high school I was about like 175, and then when I was in college I got pretty fat, and I was at one point I was about 220, and then like it's like since I've been out in the real world working, I've been somewhere in like the 180 190 range, and the more the more weight you put on, it just it makes that job harder.
Oh yeah. I mean, what sticks to a horse's back better, a piece of straw or a freaking cedar post?
That's right. That's right. And that's like I know a lot of real big guys at Cowboy, but they don't you typically don't see them cowboying much past 50, 55.
Yeah. Heck, I know a couple sure enough fucking big old hefty boys that are freaking can spur one the fuck down on a bucking horse.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
I'm same way. I know a couple guys there. I mean like probably pushing 300.
not often,
but like
yeah.
but like can sure enough rake one down. But that's just a lot of wear and tear on the old joints when like when they're just and a lot of those guys, they just have the belly that just like they're not, there's no fat anywhere else. Like they got a normal face. It's just all right there in the belly.
Well, hey, my buddy Buck Barnes, he's about 245-ish roughly, and about 5'10".
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, freehand on a freaking coming out of the chutes and shit. He's a big boy all the way around, But then again, he's been riding freaking, his granddad owned a trader lot, and he's been riding the fucking the creme de la creme of shit horses since
just
damn near Vietnam.
Absolutely, absolute junk.
Yeah, trader lot in Amarillo, Texas. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I was gonna say if like you want to see some just shit come through, Amarillo is a good place to see that, because you get some res shit coming out of New Mexico, and then you just get some backyard shit coming out of the rest of the other places, and then you get some just ranch junk,
Yeah. See, they said that old boy is sticky as fuck for being a big feller,
Yeah. Yeah, I know a couple of guys like that. It just man, I was well, like I was talking with Boots O'Neill the other day, and he was like, well, I think he said he was at 165, and he said at one point he got a little big and he was at like 180, but he's like, he said he felt like it took too much, like he had to work too hard just to do his job.
Yeah.
And so he slimmed back down, and he's been right around that like 165, 170 range. And he's 89 and still saddles up every morning. So
yes, hey,
it's it's something about being lean. It's part of the job.
You see, at 190, I was wearing just the Wrangler, the fucking alphabet 13s, whatever the fuck they are. So I was wearing a freaking 30, 38.
No shit.
Yeah, that's at 190.
Wow, that's a little waist.
Yeah, I'm 225 right now and still wear freaking 33, 32, 33 area.
No shit. Yeah, because I'm right around 180, maybe 185, and I haven't not been below a 34 waist since high school. Like that's
Yeah.
I've been 34, 36 since high school, and like there's a couple points in college where I probably could have went up to a 36, but I chose to just cram it in.
Yeah, you see your pulse through the freaking jeans and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like you had to go and then button them and then you're fine. But
Yeah.
that's always a move when you're like, all right, I'm gonna ease off the beer for this week and
Shit. See, at 190, I was drinking beer every day, but I was in college and I wasn't eating nothing.
yeah, that the college was a problem because I consumed a lot of calories, but it was all in beer.
Yeah, I pissed all of them out. That deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
At 190, I look like a pair of shoulders getting toted around by toothpicks. It's freaking.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 23.
23. Okay, so you've got a few years before when you can just like tie one on all night and still roll out of bed at sun up and or be ready to go at sun up.
Yeah.
There'll be I think for me it was about 28 when that hit, when I was just like, whew, I'm gonna have to do some planning if I'm gonna tie one on, like I can't just go.
A week's worth of preparation.
Yeah, I gotta do at least a little bit.
Make sure you got Banamine and freaking for the
Yeah,
morning.
exactly. Get some B12, get some Banamine, get some Pedialyte. Just you take preemptive measures at some point. I think it was about 28 for me, but yeah, there's.
Oh, best line I ever heard for that. You know what the best cure for a hangover is?
Hmm.
Be younger than 25.
Well, there's that, and as a last ditch option is go load an enclosed stock trailer full of hay, and then unload it, and by the time you're done there, you'll have every lick of alcohol sweated out of your system, and you'll be good to go. That was my dad's favorite move when I was in high school. When I come in 2:30 in the morning.
I can't tell you the times I've freaking been flanking calves and shit hung over. I can hang my head on the side of it. Sitting there holding legs, losing.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that you've never called in hungover though.
No, sir.
Me neither. See, that same way. Like I've called in sick a time or two. I don't do it much, but I have done that. But I've never called in on anything self-inflicted. Like if I got myself to that point, knowing it was going to lead to that point, suck it up, buddy. You got a job to do.
Yeah.
If you're pissing out your ass and it's not your fault, you can call in on that one. But if you're pissing out your ass and it's all from whiskey, figure it out. You got a job to do.
Freaking stick some toilet paper inside your jeans, so freaking.
Yeah, exactly. They make
the old tampon.
They make all sorts of wet wipes for dudes nowadays, and there is no shame in keeping those handy because they'll save your life. Yeah.
Shit. Hell, freaking lose a shirt tail off a couple of shirts and shit, but.
Yeah. I've missing tops of socks. We were talking about this on a podcast here a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, tops of socks, bottoms of shirt, cuffs every now and then. Like if it's a shirt that's getting ready to be retired anyways, just go ahead and take the cuffs off of that one. And,
about half my jeans have patches, and so that will be the first place. Like I'll cut the patches out of my jeans.
Yeah, there you go. But also, like, when you have kids, you'll have wet wipes around, and that'll change your
Yeah.
world. And then,
Oh, yeah.
even after your kids get old enough where they don't shit themselves anymore, you'll still have wet wipes around because you're like, these are handy as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm lucky. I ain't got no kids that call me dad yet. So
Yeah, well, that's it's funny. I always think about this because I was 28 when I had my first kid, and I was thinking, like, if we had been born 100 years earlier, like 28, and if you don't have a kid yet, like, there's a good chance you're dying alone.
yep.
And like 28, you probably better have 3 or 4 at least.
Well, hell, there's freaking. I mean, you look back, freaking diarrhea used to be like that was a life or death situation. Now it's just a mild inconvenience.
Right. But that's funny. And I've told this story many times on the podcast, but hey, everybody who's a longtime listener, you can get over it. This is a relevant story. But I caught dysentery when I was working for Grant County Feeders, that Five Rivers yard there outside of Ulysses.
Yes.
And the guy that normally ran our dead wagon was off on vacation, so I had to cover it. I was kind of, I was manager trainee, like bouncing between shipping, receiving, and hospital and the pin riding crew. And so I had to run the dead tractor. And at one point, one day I did 23 necropsies before noon. I mean, it was that was one of the shittiest jobs I've ever done. I've cut open a lot of cattle, and I really don't mind it. I don't have a weak stomach, but 23 in a morning.
Yeah,
That's that's some fucking work, and a lot of them were like big bloated, like getting ready to ship fat cattle, like 1,400 pounds, and you're just trying to wrestle those around because everything had to be necropsy too. Like, even though you could tell it was a bloat, like his asshole sticking out about that far.
Yeah.
That's a bloat, I promise you. And but you still had to cut everything open, and but somehow I got some sort of bacteria in me from that, and it was the middle of July. It was 103 degrees. And I was wearing a vest and a hoodie in this tractor, and it was like a 54 something series John Deere, like those ones that kind of look like a mosquito. It was one of those. So just big fucking windows. The whole cab is a window, so just hotter than shit. And I had a vest and a hoodie with the hood on and the heater running. And still sweating my ass off, and still had the chills. And every time in between picking up a dead, I'd have to go run to the bathroom and shit my brains out. And I finally went to the doctor, and they said I had dysentery. And his only recommendation was stay hydrated. He said drink Kool-Aid, or not Kool-Aid, but Gatorade. And so I went and bought a whole bunch of purple Gatorade, and I shit nothing but purple Gatorade for 3 days after that.
Yeah.
Before it finally just ran its course. And so I kind of understand the struggle back then, where it's just like, he's got the shits again. Better read him his last rites. He's probably gonna die.
Like, well, start building a box for him.
He's probably gonna die.
A goner.
Yeah.
Like, freaking, hell, a cold back in, freaking, that was, once again, life or death situation. He's got a fever. Like,
yeah. Or, like, you got shot through the arm, and, and the bullets moved so slow back then that it was usually, like, the piece of cloth from your shirt that went with the bullet that caused the infection. It wasn't even the bullet itself that caused it. It was the cloth. And they're like, well, we could dig that bullet out and you might die of shock, or we can cut your arm off, might die of shock. And either way, he still might die of gangrene. So,
Yeah.
hey, good luck. 7 Hail Marys, and we'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, it's crazy how much tougher like they were as a generation, but how easily they got killed by freaking shit that's just like inconvenience now. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Like freaking, we get a cold, like here's some chicken noodle soup, you'll be fine. And a cold, they had a fate. He's gone, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep going. I can hear you. I gotta step
Oh,
out.
you good? Yeah, like I said, freaking. Like I said, a 6-year-old's out there freaking running a plow and freaking driving a team by himself. 6-year-old now barely freaking function on its own. But yeah, they got killed by the dumbest shit. Well, at least dumb nowadays.
Oh, I was about to piss my pants there. So, but, yeah, it's amazing. Like my little girl's about to turn 7,
Mhm.
and like some of the shit that you hear a 7-year-old doing back in 1860, you're just like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
There's no way, no way I would allow, my kid to probably do any of that ever, let alone at
Child labor laws
7
ruined
years
us.
old. Yeah, yeah, we've got real soft.
Mm-hmm. Like my granddad freaking hell, I think he was 5, 6 area. Whenever he kept running away from home, so they said, all right, then they stuck him in a camper by a lake. Freaking no one else around type deal. Freaking he
Yeah.
lived by himself from that age on.
Yeah,
Like you do that now, they're starving to death. They're like, I don't even know where a Pop-Tart tree is. Like,
no shit. It's funny. Like my little brother, my folks adopted him from Vietnam, and he ran away from home when he was 5, and he lived on the streets of Vietnam for 5 years. Just like how he, like, I don't know if he cooked his own food or if he stole food or bought it or what, but like he survived for 5 years. But like I said, I look at my kids now and like they're fairly tough, but man,
yeah,
I can't
there's
imagine.
you're just sitting there like, yeah, you'd be gone after the first week. Like,
Yeah, yeah, and like they're, I would say tougher than most kids nowadays, but like nowhere near.
That's not saying very much though.
No, no, it's not. And man, like, and it's really easy to rip on the on the kids for being pussies and shit, but
It's the parents' fault.
yeah, exactly. They don't know any better. That's the big part of it. But yeah, it's wild.
It is. Man, I think my granddad can have to catch his own freaking food and shit out of having to fish for fucking dinner.
Yeah, it was it's wild. Like my grandpa McKinley, he farmed in an open cab tractor right in the middle of the Dust Bowl, and you're like, like you gotta hand it to him because like, man, that's tougher than me. But also you're just like, you could have moved and and not tried to farm in the middle of that shit too. Yeah, and you're just like there's so you get some major points for just toughing it out, but also you're just like, you were tough enough to do that. You probably tough enough to move and actually do something. But I guess at some point, like when you're like when you're that invested into in that point, like a piece of land, and you're just like, fuck you. I have got everything I have into this, and I don't care what happens. I'm dying right here.
Well, it's kind of like, I guess it kind of be like 2006. I was at Duncan Ranch, freaking. This is a ranch I grew up on, and there's a big fire up there. Texas Panhandle. Hell, it burned from way south of me all the way up into Oklahoma, and I was around Skellytown, area or border Pampa. I don't know if you know Amarillo.
Roughly. Yeah.
And it burned all the way up into Oklahoma. It burned over 1 million acres. Freaking big fire.
Yeah, I remember that
Hey,
one.
there was a two or three, I think 2 old men died in that fire. Hey, both of them freaking knew the fire was coming, whole 9 yards. They're like, no, I ain't leaving it. Freaking hell, everything they had is burned up. They figured they went with it.
Yeah,
Sent help away.
you know, because there's that point, and like I've done it many a times working on vehicles. Like I'm no mechanic, and I don't ever want to be, but at some point, like I know enough just to kind of to replace some shit. But like you get to the point where nothing is working, but at the same time, like you know in your head that you should probably just walk away from it, but you've already got to that point, and there's no way I'm leaving until I resolve this goddamn situation, or I'm dying trying. One of the two.
Freaking I drive shit box trucks, so yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, and I that's got to be what it felt like, cause like my dad or my grandpa had been his dad that started that deal, and you know they were first. I think he was my great granddad. I think was first generation coming over from Scotland. And you know, just like, nope, I made it across the ocean. I made it all the way out to this godforsaken piece of land, and this is mine. God damn it, I'm staying here. You know, it just I don't care what happens. This is where it all ends.
Yeah, freaking. Yeah, it's. I don't know. Like I said, they're a different breed back in.
Yeah. I think we're gonna see a similar type of situation. Like there's just way too many parallels between like the 20s and 30s. Like the same shit's happening here. It's a different type of, but it's the same. Like the stock market uncertainty in the 20s.
Yeah.
Like that's here. The homeless camps that we're seeing in the major cities. Think of the tent cities back in the Dust Bowl era. We're seeing the same thing. So I think we're gonna. Hopefully, we don't have a world war. That like we don't need that. We got nukes now. That doesn't need to happen. But there's a lot of parallels between now and then. So I think we're gonna have a situation where folks are gonna be like, you know, like this. No, this is where we make our stand. I hope.
See, it's man. I want to think that. I mean, pretty much everything's cyclical, and I'm just waiting for the swing back to where men have a set of nuts between their legs, and like don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all, but as a whole, as society, fuck. I mean, shit. 30 years ago, they had freaking laughed at us and fucking hung us by our underwear and freaking called us a faggot, like.
Well, I know I was I was just watching. I was doing a binge watch session on South Park because I hadn't watched the last couple of seasons, and some of the shit that they were saying 6 years ago is what we're saying now, and we're just like, yeah, it's just weird how. But I see more and more people just being like, and not even standing up saying enough is enough, but they're at least saying like, what the fuck. And so you're seeing, I guess, more and more people are saying what the fuck, and that's a good thing. But also, you're like, where have you been? Where have you been?
Yeah, it's like I said, fuck. I hate my generation. Holy fuck.
I feel the same way about mine, and I'm just that generation right ahead of you, but.
Yeah,
it's the same way, like there, and even in the rural communities, like I know like there's some of my buddies are really good hands and they got a really strong work ethic and are just handshake deal type of people.
Yeah,
but also same type of people or same group of people that I graduated with that ain't worth the fuck either, and so I just. I'm a little more hesitant to harp on the younger generation more than anything because they don't know any better. But
Well, at
also
some
because
point you got to pull your head out of your ass and
that's
you
true.
can't-
Like, there is a point to it, but also like I know and grew up with their parents, and that's the
Yeah.
big part of it. Well, I don't I'm not as quick to jump on the younger generation just because I know their
Fuck, I am.
parents. Yeah, well, and that's good. I like there. It's I
Like I
think
said,
we
at some point you got to quit blaming your parents for your raising. Fucking you're old enough to make your own decisions, be conscious of
right.
what the fuck you're doing.
Well, and yeah, I think I think one of the biggest problems with society in general is like we just don't hold each other accountable. But you can't hold somebody else accountable if you're not doing it on your own. And that's the big problem is like everybody is really quick to point out somebody else's bullshit and not take care of their own. And it's supposed to work the other way. You take care of your own bullshit before you call out anybody else.
Yeah.
And that's it's one of the biggest parables in the Bible. Take the beam out of your own eye before you take the speck out of your neighbor's eye. And it's just. But
Yes,
I don't know. That's not how culture's designed today, I guess. But yeah,
I think I can
That's
live
one
to be
of
1,000 and never understand it.
but I think that's one of the things that's always been good about like I'm gonna be careful and point out or differentiate like the ranching side of things and the cowboy side of things. Like
Yeah.
on strictly the cowboy side of things, where like they're not your cattle. A lot of times they're not your horses. You're strictly there to do a job.
Yeah.
A good cowboy can tell if this is not going to be a good fit, and they'll be like, "Hey, I'm going to roll up my bedroll, and we'll see you, we'll see you when I see you." And and I think that's I think that's one of the main reasons why the American cowboy has been so romanticized because it was they weren't necessarily the smartest group of people. They weren't even like the best group of people, but they were real quick to be like, no, fuck you.
Yep.
No, I'm not doing that. And you know what? And it's funny as how the ride for the brand thing that was a ranch based deal. That was not a cowboy led deal.
Yeah.
The cowboy rode for the brand that treated him good. If they paid him good and they treated him good, then they would ride for the brand. Ride for the brand came from like the cattle associations and the ranchers itself because they wanted to keep those guys.
Yeah.
And so it was but like the cowboy in itself is just like, no, this is what I want to do, and if you're not gonna let me do it, I'll roll up my bedroll and we'll see you.
That's one thing. Like I said, I've noticed freaking, and especially like my generation, I've noticed freaking the cowboy culture. At least, said they're real quick to freaking, they don't sway off your morals. That's instilled and freaking hammered in our head from day one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do not freaking sway from that.
Yep.
If you don't, freaking, you're gonna be all right. Type deal. Whereas, fucking hell, most people are fucking wishy-washy, flaky motherfuckers, and fucking.
Mm-hmm.
I
I think there's some real value to that. You just like if you know, like there's right, there's wrong, there's the gray area.
There's very little gray.
But you tend on the side of right.
Yep.
But also that means like you don't put up with bullshit either, just because you're getting a paycheck. Like just it's.
I was looking for a job when I found this one. Shit.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
That old saying like that rings true from. And I've heard that from cowboys from the Southeast. I've heard it from the Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico area that where I grew up, Colorado. and I've heard it from Great Basin buckaroos too. They're just like, yeah,
Yep.
I was looking for a job when I found this one, and
Yep.
yeah.
Worst case
but
scenario, go back to the yard. I can get some money back in my pocket.
right. Well, just like if nothing else, I know I can do some very, very dumb menial labor for not a lot of money. But if that's what I have to do to survive to get to the next job, that's what I'll do.
Yeah,
Like,
freaking. Man, go to a feed yard or freaking hell. Hell, I have to supplement my damn income. I build taps and all that good stuff, and freaking.
where do they find you?
What?
Free plug. Where do they find your leather work?
One more time. Oh shoot! Just most time it's just on Marketplace. I mean, or hit me up on Facebook.
There you go.
Yeah.
Rowdy Cox.
Yep.
There you go.
Appreciate
supports. Hey, no problem. No problem. Support small business.
Yes, but yeah, it. I don't know. Freaking. That's one thing. Freaking. A lot of people don't realize either. Is you cowboy, you're more than likely you're gonna be fucking flat ass broke your whole life. You know. If you're not broke, you're not gonna be well off. You know. But,
right. Well, I've got a pretty cush gig, but
yeah.
I know guys that that I went to college with that I'm just as smart as them. I work harder than they do. I guarantee you, I work harder than they do, and they're making plenty more than me. And you know what? I'm fine with that because at the end of the day, I don't have to deal with their bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I get to punch cows.
Yep. See what I like about freaking working on that is just like I'm working, but 90% of my day is fucking off. It's not really fucking off, but I don't have anyone breathing down my fucking neck telling me what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I want to sit there and shoot prairie dogs while I'm fixing fence, I can, you know, or if I want to sit there and just torture on piss heads, fucking, I can, you know. I mean, I'm working, but I'm working, but I'm fucking off, you know, that deal. That makes sense.
It doesn't feel like you're working.
Yep.
You're at the end of the day, you're just like, I got paid to do all that.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
I got paid to go rope and choke shit and tie it down.
Yeah. It goes back to the old Monty Walsh quote, just like, I can ride all the way down to Texas, and then turn around and ride all the way back up to Canada and get paid to do it.
Yep.
It's one of those, that's how I always felt it too. It's like, I could make a lot more money elsewhere, but I also make a pretty decent living doing this, and this is pretty cool. So that's what I'll do.
Yep. And heck, I mean, what you trade in monetary value, you make up for in a quality of life that you can't get there.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's
like how much do you value your own happiness?
Right. Well, and just take for example how many money or how many movies or TV shows have they made about working in an office? I'm sure there's plenty, but the two that I can think of are Office Space and The Office.
Yeah.
But I could rattle off 12 John Wayne movies right now.
Yeah.
Without breaking a sweat, and that's not even dipping into Glenn Ford and Clint Eastwood and Tom Selleck and Sam Elliott and all the other Western movies that they've made over the years.
Yep.
Because our job's cooler than theirs. That's all that is. That's all that is, and it always will be.
Yep. Shit, I feel like motherfuckers on 4-wheelers are giving us a bad name though.
Well, that's true. But you know, I've seen so many people, red-faced, pissed off at the world after they had to bail off a 4-wheeler to try to turn a cow back, when you could have just lifted your hand on your horse, you know, lift your hand and touch him in the shoulder, and that would have all been fixed. Yeah.
Yep.
I think there's still a lot of farmer type operations out there, but there's a lot of people that are realizing that if you really want to like handle cattle efficiently with with the least amount of bullshit and heartache at the end of the day, get some good cowboys.
Yep. And hell, I'll always go charge more freaking if they say I need these cows caught or need this cow. Have you been running around with a 4-wheeler for the past 3 weeks?
Right. Yeah.
Like, how much is it gonna cost? That question answers it all.
Yeah. Also, how
Yeah.
many times have you thrown a rope at it? Because that
Yeah.
adds into it too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it gets. Man, heck, this place. I mean, up here. I love this deal, but most of my fences, which all this stuff being built around the turn of the century is pretty neat. My barn with loft and all that cool stuff. But the fences being built around the turn of the century are not as nice.
Oh no. How many wires you got stapled to
4.
a cedar tree?
Oh wait, to a cedar tree. I have 4 strands
Yeah.
and freaking about every fucking 20 yards. There's a cedar tree growing through my middle of my fence.
Yeah, and and you're gonna splice that because as soon as they staple it to a tree, it's gonna rot out right there around the staple, and so you start out with a splice like this, and then you have a splice like this, and then you have a splice like this, and
Yep. Well, hell, it doesn't help that my freaking cows. Hell, even I got a big old freaking herd bull Hereford. That some bitch will jump a fence like a deer, just like my cows will, or they'll just walk right through some bitch. And you talk about pissed off, like you're not even crowding them, and they're just freaking, either jumping a fence or blowing through it, and you're like, huh, all right.
What?
You're just sitting there watching on your horse, like not shit you can do about it. You're like,
yeah, you're just like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
God damn it. It's like that. That's all you can do is you just like shake your head and you just go, God damn it.
Yeah, like, well, I'm fixing 30 yards of fence now.
Yeah. It's same thing. It's like, and I have a completely different, way more pussified situation. But like, I'll be taking pulls home. We get them doctored, and it's always the Holsteins. And you're like, all right, I'll just crack this gate, and they'll go around it. No, they will go right up into the V.
Yeah.
And then just stand there. And so you got to ride around, push them back, and then as soon as they see daylight the other way, it's like afterburners.
Yeah.
So then you got to haul ass to get around them. And unlike beef cattle, once you get beside them, they just run faster.
Yeah.
Like you basically, you have to get around them, and then you have to try to actively push them back the other way, because otherwise they just keep running.
Holsteins are one of the dumbest creatures known to mankind.
Oh, they're fucking infuriating. I hate them.
Yep.
And half the yard is full of Holsteins. Like half of them is Holstein heifers, and half of them are regular cattle. And I hate them with a fiery passion.
Oh yeah, freaking this. And heck, you look at when I'm wrong, and it's the Baton Death March for them. Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, but, and they'll like, I'll try to take them to the gate, and they will not look at the hole at all. Not even look. And as soon as you slap a loop on them, they lay down and bawl.
Yeah.
And you always catch them like right at the bunk, and then they bawl, and then the rest of the pen comes right to them, and as you drag them out the gate, here comes the rest of the fucking pen with them.
Yeah.
And every one of them's jumping over your rope and they're like probably the most infuriating animal known to man.
Right behind Appaloosas.
Appaloosas are pretty bad too.
Yeah.
I used to think sheep were worse, but I don't know.
It's I don't know. It's half dozen ones, 60 other type deal.
At least sheep are small enough to where you can manhandle them.
Yeah.
Holstein, like, once they get over like 700 pounds, they don't even know what their weight is, and they'll just walk over the top of you, and they don't give a fuck.
Yep.
And they're not mean about it. They're not snorting as they do it, but they'll just like put all 4 feet right over your face.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah, they're just dumbest creatures. Like, and just I mean, it's almost like they're suicidal too.
Yeah.
Noted. Like, if they can find a weird way to kill themselves, they're gonna do it twice.
They'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they just live. They're the Florida man of cattle.
Yeah. Like they're. Yeah, that's no better analogy than that.
Rowdy, we might have $1 million idea. Like, we'll do a website like thefloridaman.com, or like, where you can search your birth date, Florida man, and then put your birth date, and it'll like give a news article. We can do that for Holsteins, and we'll do like floridamanholstein.com. And so it'll just be like pen writers from all over will submit stories about stupid Holsteins, and so you'll be able to search it by like the day they submitted that story. And so like if it's at your birthday, like, I think we could.
Absolutely.
That might be a good one.
It's very marketable for sure.
Feedlot Cowboys all over.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think you could just do a feedlot cattle just as a whole, or even just cattle as a whole too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, just because there's always that exceptionally dumb one of any breed.
Well, and I would like to see the Florida Man cattle stories from Florida Man too.
Yeah.
Like, because I bet there's some good ones. I'll have to find a tech guy, because I think this is a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, hey, shit. So that a buddy of mine, he freaking turned out, they were actually from Deseret, once again. These freaking cattle. So there's no, like, there wasn't like a windmill or a big trough in that, pasture. There's a big dirt tank, pretty much, or like, fucking, he went out there and pretty much, well, they weren't all dead, but they're, damn near freaking dead. Some bitches would not drink out of a freaking dirt tank because the freaking fucking alligators and shit.
Yeah, they're just used to drinking out off the ground. There's we get a lot of desert cattle in the fall, and we'll turn on our overflows just so they hear the water, and and then you'll see them like they'll like keep a big buffer around. We got those blue Johnson, I think they're not Johnson, Gates water tanks.
Yeah.
And you'll just see they'll keep a ring around it, and like they'll look at that water tank, but they won't go up to it. But we'll have that overflow going, and they'll just follow that water down, and then eventually they'll come up to the tank.
Yeah. See, these were scared shitless, would not freaking.
Yeah.
It was spooking at the freaking dirt tanks and shit, thinking.
It's wild, but they if you get some water on the ground, they can smell it, and then they'll eventually go up to it. But man, there's sometimes those. We used to get Florida cattle when I was at the JBS yard there in Kansas.
Yeah,
and I don't know what it is about them. Those Bramers that they breed down there, but every one of those motherfuckers, when you'd be processing them, and when they'd run into the chute, they would just dive, and you had to recatch them, otherwise they would choke out, or they would just crawl right through. Like you had to recatch them, but they would never stand up; they would just dive. Yeah. And that head gate would catch them right on that carotid artery, and they'd just choke out like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I don't know why. I don't know.
Pretty much everything that comes out of that state's just absolutely fucking brilliant.
I think so.
It used to not be like that. That's like pretty much where freaking, other than the Spaniards and down south, like it was a Spaniard south, freaking. In the continental United States, Florida was where the first cows were. Freaking, that was where, Cowboy basically started in the United States, was in Florida.
Yeah.
Freaking
Well, and the oldest city in America is
St.
St. Augustine.
Augustine.
Yeah. Like that was like 14 or like 1530 something or something like that. I'm like,
Yeah,
old,
that's
old.
something like that. Yep. And
And shortly
they said that,
after was the first cattle.
man, I wish I was up at my house, not sitting in my barn right now. There, I've got a pair of old freaking conquistador taps that my freaking great granddad found.
No
The old
shit.
brass conquistador tap. They have a big old seashell on the freaking where they hang to the freaking stirrup, and they're little as hell. Like, but then again, they were little people back in, and yeah, they're brass, cool as hell. I'll send you a picture of them on Facebook.
Yeah, I was gonna say, send me a picture. I'll post that on the page. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, my great granddad found them. Freaking, that's about. I don't know. That's probably one of the cooler things I've ever seen in my freaking life. Like, it's just
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, where did your family come from originally?
well, my dad originally he's from Texas Panhandle. My mom's from Florida, your area. Shit, Eustis, the land area, which is near Orlando, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
and where'd they come from in the old world? Scotland, Ireland.
Scotch Irish, and you wouldn't guess it. Scotch Irish and Seminole Indian.
No shit, huh? See,
Yeah.
I'm Scotch Irish and Mexican, but like I'm kind of like 50-50 from what I gathered. I didn't do the DNA test. My little sister did, but from what I gathered, like we're like 50% roughly Iberian Peninsula, which would be Spain, and or so it's like 30% Iberian Peninsula and 17% Native American, which would be Mexican. So we're like heavy on the Spanish side of that, but like just old school Mexican.
Yeah, man. I also got freaking Czechoslovakian.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're like
I'm bred to be crazy shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you were bred to have zero melanin except for the Seminole.
Yeah, man, freaking. Yeah, it's man. Heck, my brother though. Well, hell, my grandmother. She's damn near as dark freaking as the wood on my pool table over there.
Yeah.
But dark, little, short, black-haired woman.
Yeah.
Freaking. Heck, my brother, he's jet black hair, freaking tans. You know.
You
heck,
got
my mom, she's a redhead, but she can still tan. Freaking brown eyes, can tan.
Yeah.
Fucking. Then there's me. I look at the moon wrong and I get a sunburn. Shit.
just a pasty white. That's see, like my wife is pretty dark skin, or like she's not dark skin, but she tans really well. Yeah. But her two sisters are just pasty white. Like like we call them translucent. They're not even white. You can see through them.
Dude, my legs will give someone snow blindness if they're not careful. Type deal.
my dad's the same way. And he had polio when he was little too, so he's got like very thin, slender, ladylike, milky white legs too. Just as white as can be, and like lady proportions.
But
it's funny.
They said the fat Irishmen, fat Irish fuckers, and kind of chinglade me.
Yeah.
I bet, man.
See, I've got so my dad's side is Scotch, Irish, and German, and I think a little bit of Cherokee.
Yeah.
And then my mom's side is just straight like old school Mexican. They've been in southern Colorado since it was still a part of Spain, basically.
Yeah, since the land grant type shit area.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then Scotch, Irish, and German on my dad's side. So it got a good mix of all the old West, So like when it comes to to a family reunion back then, it would have been just like going back to the 1870s. Everybody hated each other.
Yeah. Well, heck, I mean, I'm pretty. Well, I'm not. I would say my family kind of unified in that regard. Like, just everyone hates each other is what I mean by that.
Which I think that's where we're heading, and I'm not opposed to it. It's like if we can just hate each other from a distance, we'll be all right.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
not. That sounds like my Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like we were talking today, like if Trump got reelected in 24, I really think we might see California secede. and this is where Trump becomes a real problem, because I think he would try to make them stay when really we can just be like, you know what, you're right. Go ahead. Just go.
It's like Gene Wilder in the first Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. Oh no,
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, please don't. Oh, darn.
Oh,
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah. Exactly. But I think that's where Trump would be a problem, because it'd be like, fuck no, America, you're staying here, and everybody else is like, but do we have to?
Yeah.
Do we
really need them?
I'm all right with it. Like let's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no objections. You
Yeah, just go for it.
like y'all do you. You got this.
Yeah, I know. It's wild. Fuck. What a weird time. What a weird time.
It's crazy how parts of California ranchy as hell, freaking then.
Oh, I know.
And it changes immediately. Like,
Yeah.
it goes from like ranch to freaking like, what the fuck is that thing wearing? Like,
Yeah, because like I'm only 20 miles from the California border, and most of the people here where I live, they ranch on both sides of the state line.
yeah,
and so you just get like little mountain cow towns. They're in the eastern Sierras, but you go like an hour on the other side, and you're down by Sacramento, and and Sacramento is not even the bad part of California, but it's nothing like Bishop and Bridgeport.
Oh, dude, freaking! I said I was up near the Bay Area. Some of the shit I seen. I said it went from like that ranch was on like hell. You couldn't hear a highway, nothing like that. Like, I mean, badass place. But you go freaking 30 miles, and like you're at San Francisco, and you're like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, and
I wouldn't even wear my cowboy hat to freaking San Francisco. I'd worry one of them fuckers will confuse me for a village person or some shit. Like,
no shit.
I'm like, fuck this shit.
Well, and the bad part is like San Francisco is a really fucking cool place. Like I'd really like to go, like just explore San Francisco for like the history stuff. But I don't want to have to step over piles of human shit along the way either. So I'll wait.
Exactly.
I'll wait till somebody normal takes over there, and then once it's back to normal, when it's just like, oh, those are liberals. Yeah. When you just like when it comes back to just that, I'll go back. But when I have to step over piles of human shit to go wait in line at next to a homeless person to get a bowl of soup or whatever, I'll pass. I'm good.
Yeah, see, I was lucky. I was over there. I was like 16, 17. I was 17. I was 17 working over there, and shit. Like I was there before everything got too crazy.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like the fucking 64 fucking, fake gender type shit, going on.
Well, see,
you just had faggots, like you just had like might walk past the street and there's a dude blowing another dude,
so the one time I was there was, and it was, I don't know, it was like I guess it'd been about 10, 12 years ago, and there were some weirdos for sure. Like there was a guy that was walking an iguana down the boardwalk.
Yeah.
Like with like a full harness and everything.
Yeah.
And there was a crackhead eating a Big Mac and shitting on top of a newspaper machine.
Hell yeah.
But it was only one guy shitting on a newspaper machine.
Yeah.
So like you're just like, all right, yeah, it's San Francisco. I can deal with that.
Yeah.
I mean, you
It's,
felt
you
out of
know, I mean,
place, but I
shit, I mean,
felt fine.
yeah. Like on something like that, it's just kind of one of the deals. Like you're just like, I don't know. This is like, oh yeah, get the full experience. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't.
Come to
I
San
don't
Francisco, see this. Like,
I don't get it, but I mean, good for you, buddy. Good for you.
exactly.
Yeah,
If that's what makes
like,
you
all right.
happy.
Yeah. Yeah, but if there's like 10 of those guys, I'm gonna have a problem. But one,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
deal with one.
Yeah. That's,
One's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 is a
10,
little uncomfortable, and 3 is just too many. Yeah.
yeah, three's definitely a crowd. I don't
Yeah.
need three. I don't need 3 guys shitting. Like that.
Yeah,
That's like
exactly.
high school locker room, and nobody liked the high school locker room.
Yeah. No. Man, it was inconvenient. Freaking never having stall doors or anything like that. Freaking.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was weird. Weird.
Yeah,
Like
very uncomfortable. Man, and it
was
did
like
not help. Dude, at the urinals, dude, I've learned. We had he was a chemistry teacher. Some bitch, you'd be pissing, and some bitch he'd walk up and like start patting you on the back. How you doing? Like, I do not want to talk to you right now. And start pissing. There's like
old
9 urinals open. And
You want to
this motherfucker stands
swallow
in the one
some
right next to
teeth,
you.
old man? Fuck. Yeah.
They freaking sitting there trying to have talk about your day and freaking shit, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I would say like at the old CSU football stadium, at the bathroom, it was just nothing but troughs. So it was like literally 60 dicks out at the same time, and I have a touch of a shy bladder.
Mhm.
So like if you get 3 or 4 guys pissing next to me, I'm a little uncomfortable, but you get 60, I mean, like I got to work to get anything out of there. Like that, like I got to find a happy place.
Yeah, see,
and that bathroom is not a happy place. I was just
I got lucky just in the regard that I have no like bashfulness, no shame, none of that. Like,
yeah, I normally don't, but it's like, and it's got better since then. But like my freshman year of college, man, I would way rather just go piss out on somebody's tire, and have several people see me from a distance, than have 3 people right next to me, like and everybody's looking at the same, like for whatever reason that I didn't like that one.
Yeah. See, man, eyes up for me on freaking this. It's
eyes on the ceiling.
Even looking at your own shit at that point is if there's that many dicks out, you're gonna see it in peripheral vision, and it's just not okay.
Yeah, no, you do a very brief cursory check, make sure you're pointing in the right direction, and then it's eyes on the ceiling.
Fuck it, I'll spray and pray. I don't give a shit. Fuck that.
There you go. There you go.
Man, dude, I will be the Walmart of people in that regard. Like I was just piss everywhere.
There you go. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I respect.
Yeah, freaking. I mean, yeah, it's just. I mean, I'll leave it so much leaving like a freaking, crackhead gas station bathroom. I don't give a fuck. Hit the wall, fucking sink, person next to me. As long as I can see, like,
well, if you're in like a truck stop bathroom, as long as you're not spraying shit on the wall, like you're not the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
You can do a lot of stuff in a truck stop bathroom before you become the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, I always like to make sure, like, every time I go on a road trip or anything, I always make sure to freaking, write a bunch of my buddies' numbers down on the walls in there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a great plan. Always.
Oh yeah, dude, my buddy freaking his phone was blowing the fuck up for like. Yeah. He got a new number because of it. Like that's.
Tell the whole story. I can hear you. Tell the whole story.
So I was, oh shoot, I'm trying to think what. Actually, we headed to Vegas. Weirdly enough, freaking, I went up writing my buddy's freaking number down on the Flagstaff, or truck stop in Flagstaff, and wrote his number down on the wall. Freaking, I was like, oh, I put some very profane stuff, It was a wee bit graphic for a live podcast, but yeah, and he's I get a text like I try to call him like 20 minutes later. Freaking, I got a busy signal. I was like, yes, it just made my heart happy. No, I get a text. He's like, because I was like, I texted him freaking like, yeah, how you doing, man? Like, just out the blue. And he's like, dude, people are just calling me all over freaking, like, I mean, I posted some very gay stuff,
Well, no. All right. So, like, just so you know, this is the podcast for the working cowboys. So, like, we're working cowboys.
I saw that and
shooting the shit. So, like, I want to know what you put on this wall,
man. Oh shit!
You don't have to say your buddy's name. You don't say your buddy's name, but do say what you put.
Well, there was very profane. Like I said, freaking sucking dick, freaking eating ass, freaking whole 9 yards. Like I freaking put it was a solid paragraph of just
not so like you got very like Mark Twain with it.
Yes, I was the Shakespeare of fucking my buddy over on the field. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
I mean,
and he got multiple calls over it.
Oh yeah, like quite a few.
That's funny because it must have been good because I've seen plenty of those truck stop bathroom messages and I've laughed at plenty of them, but I've never once called a number.
Yeah, no, this thing was a freaking this was.
I was gonna say this must have been like masterpiece.
Oh man, it freaking talked about reference for not showering first too. Like it was.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
like you're a goddamn poet, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it was kind of gnarly. Like it was once again, it was a podcast for working
Rowdy
cowboy,
Shakespeare. Rowdy Shakespeare.
Yeah, freaking. Yeah, it was very very raunchy, and I
like
thought
it.
It was the funniest shit known to mankind.
See, and that is at the very base level of every cowboy. There's that, just like I'm gonna get a laugh at my buddy's expense.
Yep.
Whether that be writing his phone number on a bathroom stall or throwing your rope right down in front of his horse or something along those lines that's gonna fuck his world up for a short amount of time, and you can laugh while it happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's oh shit. I like it freaking everyone. Like there's been a bunch of day works I've been to, and like damn near every time my buddies come freaking day work, they're freaking always riding some fucking piss heads. And
yeah,
normally I am too, but I'll freaking sling my hat down right in the middle of it. We're all standing in a circle or something. Or I'll sit in a circle. I'll sling my freaking hat right in the middle of everything, or freaking launch a beer can at one of the horses and see what happens.
Yeah. See, and I always tell like the city guys, like, how you know if you can hang out with us cowboys is not only can you take the punishment, but can you plot revenge? If you can plot revenge, you're in. You're in. Because everybody's going to be looking out for you. And so they don't fuck with you. That's how you get in. If they have to watch their back, all right, well, just come on in then. I don't want to fuck with that.
Yeah. See,
but who else can we get though?
See, I'm the one that I'm normally the instigator of it all. Like I'm normally the one freaking just doing everything I can just to like, God allowed me to live another day. I'm about to make it everyone else's fucking problem.
See, I'm the enabler because I'll see a guy like you, and I'll see what you're thinking, and I'll be like, yeah, you should, but also do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Man, I love it. Like whenever freaking, anybody I know from town or something, they're like, I want to ride a horse. I'm like, I got you.
Yeah, I got one.
Dude, we put this. He's never been on a horse that bucked a day in his life. All right. One of them freaking 3 piss heads I freaking got. We slapped him up on. We made a shoot out of freaking like the crowding pin.
Yeah.
Going into my snake. Cut the snake off. Freaking made it like a shoot.
Hell yeah. Fuck
Stepped
yeah.
him in there.
I love it.
Dude, he was like, he didn't get bucked off, but he was, I mean, walling around like a fat girl trying to waterbed. Like, I mean, this son bitch was flopping everywhere, and freaking wound up pulling the saddle off the side, and had his leg over. His foot wasn't hung up or nothing, but his leg's still over the back of this horse. One foot's on the ground. This horse, he's bad to kick. Like, I'm just sitting there like, it's my saddle, so I'm like, fuck. I don't give 2 fucks about him at this point. I'm like, I mean, so what? He gets kicked. You know, that horse doesn't. When that horse kicks, he normally kicks about freaking maximum. He's gonna kick you in the belly. You know.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there, fuck my saddle, and he's like sitting there with 1 foot still over this horse's back. I'm like, motherfucker, take your goddamn foot off his back.
Yeah. Don't ruin my saddle, you cocksucker. God damn it.
Yeah, freaking. He did actually wind up getting kicked, freaking, but that was a little bit later. Whenever they were trying to get that saddle off that freaking horse's side, he got smoked. Then I made him get his ass back on, and freaking he was not exactly. He was taking forever to get on. I'm like, get on, you motherfucker.
That's awesome. Nah, see,
I enjoyed the hell out of myself.
See, that's cowboy shit. Is like, you know, and so I don't know. I've had plenty of people ask, like, how do non-cowboy people get into the cowboy world? Well, it is tough. It is tough, but if you can take a beating, and you can also plot revenge, then you're probably good.
Yeah.
But the very first step is be able to take some abuse, because there's a lot of it.
Shit, I mean, hell, and so I call him my little brother. He's not really, but he's my little brother type deal, and he's he's about as handy as freaking, you know, a second asshole, or you know, concrete shoes while you're trying to take a swim, you know.
Yeah.
And I freaking love him to death, but he's not exactly, you know.
He's not a Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah, he likes the term of being being a cowboy more than his ability allows type deal. And like, I mean I've seen him freaking get mollywopped off a horse you couldn't have fit a soda can underneath all 4 feet at any given time, including at a trot, you know, type deal. Like,
yeah.
I mean, freaking heck, my 3-year-old freaking cousin could ride this sumbitch out of a fucking buck, and little brother bailed off on the fence. And so I recommend freaking for something like that, freaking do like he kind of did, and go to freaking some kind of damn near farmified yard that freaking has horses already. Freaking, you know. But he works up in Lamar right now.
At Colorado Beef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaking, that is crazy. Like, that place has there's no good part about working at a feedlot at that feedlot.
No.
You can't ride colts. You can't rope shit. Like, what if you can't do those 2 things? What the fuck's the point?
Well, there's a lot of yards that won't let you rope, but but there's some of those yards, and you know, because that's a 5 Rivers yard, and I never worked there, but like I worked with a lot of people that worked there. Like we were in the same, like we'd go to management training and whatnot. Yeah. And man, like it was bad when I worked there, like all the safety regulations. But then I knew people that worked there several years after I left, and like there was regulations on what type of bit you could ride in your horse. Like if you were caught out of a walk, you get written up and shit. And I was like, man, like it was bad when I was there, but it wasn't anywhere close to that.
See, like heck, no horses under 4 years old, nothing that bucks at all, or nothing that's going to act crazy. Yeah, just, I mean, I got one horse that freaking I can, count on to not buck.
Right.
Like I couldn't, and that they have yard provided horses. So,
yeah.
I mean, and
Yeah.
at least if you work somewhere like that, you don't really have to be a freaking hand to work there. And
Yeah, that's true.
at least let you get an eye for sick cattle and freaking sitting a horse, type deal.
Well, I was telling a guy that I work with here, I guess it was today, but I was saying, like, for somebody who didn't grow up around cowboying or ranching or even on the feedlot, like somebody who's just wanting to get into it, a big feedlot is your best bet for a short amount of time.
Yep.
Like I wouldn't recommend staying there.
Yeah.
But
if you can,
yeah, but if you can spend a year and a half and like, because you can learn a lot about cattle in a short amount of time. Like,
yep.
you'll count better after 6 months. You'll count cattle better than 99% of people alive. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to pick out sick cattle quite a little bit better too. But you also have to deal with the corporate bullshit, which is also a good thing, because you'll find out real quick that you don't want any part of it, and then you move on, and you get to use all those skills that you learned on the big yards dime and be able to use it into your actual cowboy world. So it's worth a year and a half in a great big yard, just learning shit, because you'll see more cattle than you'll ever see again in your life.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
and that's worth a lot. It really is.
Yeah, man. They said, I mean, I don't think I go freaking. I don't know. That's like the two reasons that freaking feedlot. I don't. If I'm in a feedlot, that's like the two things that freaking make my day better. Freaking about working in a fucking feedlot, freaking riding colts and fucking I can freaking put 30 days on shit for someone. Freaking added fucking couple $100 to my income.
Yeah. Well, and there's a lot of value to riding a horse in the feedlot. Like you can pack a lot into 60 days in a feedlot.
Yeah.
Like that can do a lot for a horse.
But it can. I mean, you leave them in there too long, it can fry the fuck out of them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I got one.
You don't want to leave them in too long, for sure.
Man, I got one freaking. Oh, this horse, he's an 8-year-old, and he's been in the feed yard since he was 2. He started in the feed yard. Hadn't left. He bounced around different yards, but he had not been out of the yard.
Yeah, that's too long.
Dude, that son of a bitch, when I got him, holy fuck, he was fried. I mean, don't get me wrong.
They don't know how to travel either.
What?
Yeah, they'll open a gate, but they don't know how.
Yeah, they don't know how to,
They don't know how to catch a trot.
Well, so he knew how to catch trot and everything, and he knew how to run off pretty well.
Yeah.
He'd never been roped off of. Yeah. We got over that pretty quick because freaking I'm not fixing to keep him.
Yeah, for sure. Now there's
hey, I got him where he's sure enough a riding around bastard now, but
yeah,
man, I cannot bring my, like, I don't know. He's like I said, he's a good horse now, but that's so much when I got him, holy fuck.
Yeah. There's a, like I said, the feedlot can do a world of difference for a horse, but like anything else, like I mean, like if you got a horse that's out on the pasture all the time, when you ask him to cut, you're probably not gonna expect a whole lot. Just the same way, like if you're wanting to go line something out on a horse that's been in the feedlot for 3 years,
So he's,
Probably don't expect to get a good shot on the first one.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
I got that horse freaking before I got to roping off him too much. I got him where I could handle him good, or he, got a good enough handle to him that I really didn't have to like worry about him tracking.
Yeah.
Hand on either side of his neck, he'd freaking, be sure enough after it. But
Yeah.
just, yeah, he was something else. He was in there that horse when I first ride on him. That son of a was he spoofed at grass. Second we stepped off freaking like the Cleachy Road, he freaking saw grass, freaking rocks, same damn thing. He was terrified of those. He thought they were gonna kill us. Cedar trees, not a fan.
I'm working on a comedy bit. I'm gonna preview it when we do our show in Elko here next month. But talking about farting on the colt, because you know that feeling, especially like when you got a slick seat, and you know how like a good morning fart is gonna vibrate off of that shit.
Yeah, you get old chainsaw fart freaking.
Oh yeah. That'll get a colt going real quick.
Oh yeah, pheasant too. Hey, it's just birds.
Oh yeah, pheasant. Oh my god, my god.
I've gotten mollywopped.
I've never seen something terrify a horse more than a plastic bag and a pheasant.
See, I don't know. I've never been mollywopped as much plastic bag, but I'm not freaking kind of a ways away from everything. But
yeah.
Oh god, a pheasant coming up. Badgers too. I freaking have one of my probably best horse
I've never come across a badger on a horse. When I've been horseback. But
man, I was riding back. I was getting cows off my neighbors. Freaking, and I was riding back to the house. It was already dark. Moon sure enough up. I'm freaking at a freaking walk back through the house. I was still probably 3/4 of a mile out from the house, riding through a prairie dog town, and I hear the most god awful racket coming up from underneath, directly underneath fucking us. That motherfucker. I hear that freaking, that growl, hiss thing they fucking do. My horse, freaking, she was exiting stage right, and she didn't give a fuck whether or not I came along with her, or I didn't. That deal.
Oh yeah.
And, I mean, that's the only time that horse ever bucked me. Freaking. Like I said, when I say freaking jam up dead broke, I could flank her out, freaking do whatever, But a badger coming up underneath us, that was where we drew the line.
Oh, I can't blame her.
Yeah, no,
I can't blame her.
Dude, I was pulling leather she wouldn't even she couldn't have bucked off a fat kid at the fair, but I was pulling leather like she could have, I was like, you ain't not leaving me behind. Fuck you. No.
We had this little paint filly when I was in high school. This kid, my dad loaned him some money to go to shoeing school, and so like he went down to that Oklahoma school of horseshoeing, and he got done, and like so the deal he made with my dad, I don't know the exact details, but basically like he had to shoe our horses for a year and some other stuff, but whatever. But like that was the part that I knew, was like he was shoeing our horses for a year. Oh, and he was also riding some colts, and we sent this little paint filly down to him, and he put 30 days on her, and we got her back, and I saddled her, and she saddled fine. Like she stood there, but she was all quivery, like and like I was real careful saddling her, and she was fine. But then as soon as I stepped up on her, she just like didn't buck at all, just ears pinned back, just, and it spent 2 weeks in the round corral, just sweating that shit out of her. Yeah. And then we didn't spend a whole lot of time in the round corral before we went outside normally. But we spent the full 2 weeks, because this bitch was like, honestly, as soon as, and like she didn't run off with you. Like as soon as you caught your stirrup, she would go. Like you would sit down, catch your stirrup, and then she'd just take off. And it was 2 weeks of that, just trying to run her out. And so we finally we get her outside, and we take her across this plowed field, and she tried to run off for a minute. Got all lathered up, and she was doing good. We took her across the CRP quarter section. Pheasant flew up in front of me, and she jumped a good 10 foot straight sideways. And, you know, it was like Wile E. Coyote. I just stayed right where I was. And then she sprinted I think it was 3 miles to the house, but she just sprinted the whole way. I had to walk. Yeah. Fuck.
Walk of shame.
Yeah, it sucked. That was a long walk. I hated it.
Yes. I mean, I'm lucky. Every time I've got sure enough mollywopped, I've been within a half mile of the house.
I've had a couple guys from the southeast asking me about that, and I said, and I always said I was pretty lucky because that was the furthest I had to walk was about 3 miles.
Yeah.
But it was also the high plains, so you could see, like I could see my mom walking around in the yard as I was walking to the house for for an hour. But but there's some of those guys that they tie their McCarty onto their belt, so if they do get bucked off, they don't lose a horse because it's 20 miles to to wherever like that.
Man, I don't think I trust anything I own enough to freaking do that.
Yeah, I've heard stories about that, and I just like the stuff that
I guarantee you I'd get drugs stomped on, freaking face kicked in. I mean,
right.
That'd be before we made fucking first 10 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there and the stuff that you would want to break would hold, and the stuff you'd wanted to hold would break, and you'd just be fucked. Like, and knowing my luck, I'd just be completely fucked out there.
Yeah. See, hey, just shit like that, freaking, getting, stuck to a horse, freaking. Hey, that's the reason I quit wearing a freaking, like, a belt with an actual buckle to it.
Yeah.
Freaking, I was on a freaking. Okay, so he was one I raised. He's a colt I raised, and let's say colt. I wound up moving off for a little bit, and just one thing after another. And and he never got above 13.2 tall. He still it. I started him as a 5-year-old. I had never fucked with him because I was like, well, fuck, I'm gonna look like I got fucking landing gears,
Yeah, well, like, and he ain't big enough to do shit, so
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's about as wide as he is fucking tall, but he's a 5-year-old stud. I was like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna start this pasture. I'm tired of having a pasture ornament. We cut his fucking nuts out and started him in. Well, we were bucking around the freaking pins, and he fucking stumbled on his front end, freaking, because them pins were slick, and hung my fucking belt over the saddle horn, freaking. And luckily, that horse couldn't have bucked off a fat girl. Heck, I've rode fat girls on water beds that buck 10 times harder. Some bitch, I was able to freaking, kick my fucking feet into my back knees and fucking slide forward, get my belt off my horn. But freaking, it dang sure freaking put the fear of God into me, because I'm not trying to get, not trying to get hung up in that predicament,
Yeah.
Same reason you wear a suicide strap on your leggings, that deal.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's man, my buddy Scott Hall was telling me, and I think he was on the Spanish Ranch, which is it's there on the California Nevada border.
Yeah.
But he was telling me about this this Indian guy that he rode into camp, and like he tied his McCarty on, like tied a knot onto his belt, because this horse, like if he took off running, he wasn't gonna stop. So like he wanted to at least be able to slow him down enough to get back on him. But that this horse, they were at a Brandon. He had him tied up at to an H brace or something, and I forget what exactly happened, but something scattered the herd right through the horses that were tied up, and his horse was tied up, and it broke his McCarty, and that horse ran out there, and my buddy Scott, they got him gathered like 3 weeks later, and that horse was still wearing that saddle, and it was at the time was a $5,000 saddle, so like today would be like a $15,000-$20,000 saddle.
Yeah.
But they noticed this horse out there on, they were out there on a big BLM permit, and they saw this little herd of wild horses, and they just, something about this horse, it was a Palomino, like a real flashy Palomino, but they just saw something different about it, but when they got up there, they saw it was had a saddle on him, and then they got him up in and roped him out and whatnot, and stripped that saddle off, and it turned out it was a very, very expensive saddle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was wild. But that same Indian, had he been on that horse, like he would have been attached to him.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, that's I don't know, man. I figure I tie hard and fast on a rope to everything, but fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah, like
my nuts only get so big. Like this. Yeah.
That's
it's
like old Boots always said, because I've asked him a couple times about. I've always tied hard because, once you're on him, you're on him. That's it.
There you are.
Yeah. Boots says like once you're on him, you're on him. Like,
yeah.
Like if you're tied on, like you rope him, well, yeah, he's either got you or you got him, one of the two. That's it.
Yeah. So I had a situation like that freaking like a good while back. Freaking reached out and roped this freaking mama cow because she was decided to be a fucking whore and not go to See, I had about half my herd on the wrong side of this ranch when I got here, and she wanted to be a godless fucking whore, and so she got fucking the old polytherapy, and I reached out and roped her, and she zigged freaking right around this big old cedar tree, and my gray mare, bless her heart, she could not have made it even if she tried. She'd have wrecked her own ship, so we wound up on the opposite sides of that cedar tree, and those things don't give. There's
yeah,
that poly did not have very much stretch to it neither, and
that poly rope don't stretch a bit, does it?
No, everything came to a very abrupt stop. My saddle was about freaking 6 inches at the front cinch was like 6 inches off her back whenever freaking everything's a stop, and I'm like, oh fuck, like that cow stood directly the fuck up. My horse is freaking trying to stumble and try to get her feet underneath her. Everything comes to a stop, and me and that cow are just sitting there, like me and that cow are all just sitting there looking at each other like, what in the fuck?
Everybody
wondering what the fuck we do now.
Everybody just goes, God damn.
Yeah. Like, well, shit, that was inconvenient.
that escalated quickly.
They got out of hand fast. Yeah. Shit.
Oh shit! What a good way to make a living, though, huh?
Fucking A, right?
Man, it's fun.
If I couldn't get a job cowboy, I don't know that I could get a job. Granted, I got a porn star name, but
yeah, seriously, I was gonna bring that up. God damn it, you beat me to it. But I was like, if you haven't been in a porn yet, you should. Like, I don't know your marital situation, but you like get on that.
Shit, Pornhub Premium, man.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Getting those New Mexico sluts.
Yeah, I would shout out my OnlyFans right now too, but
no. hey, a fella's got to make a living somehow.
No kidding, man.
No shamesies on this podcast.
Yeah. Shit. Everyone, no one knows whether or not I'm joking whenever I say that.
See, most people, well, I guess if they've been listening for a while, they realize they know me. But like most people on first impression are like, is this guy, is he serious? Most of the time I'm not, but
most this is
you'll
me.
never know.
Most of the time I'm not. Like 98% of the time I'm just fucking around. But it's great because freaking, if they do look me up on there, it's this is like if they have to get curious enough to,
Yeah,
it just
yeah, there has been, and I this is 100% serious, like honest to God. I can count on two hands, like and I'm approaching three hands. The amount of people is like, I love your memes, but I cannot share them. And that's how I know I'm doing a good job. When somebody is like, "Oh, I laughed really hard at that one, but I will never share that."
shit. I share freaking damn near every meme you fucking post.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
I have to most time I have to share it on Snapchat because fucking Facebook, my old Mark Zuckerfuck will kick me off.
Dude, I have almost 20,000 people that follow my page, and let's see, this last post that I had, like this live stream right now has 1 like, 8 reactions, but 1 like, and then another post that I have, like out of 20, you would think maybe a couple hundred would see that and say, "Hey, I thought that was funny." No, 13. 13.
See, that's you remember my page on Facebook, that Prairie Pimps?
Yeah. By the way, Prairie Pimps is a hilarious page. That is one of my favorite groups. Like if you're looking for Burnin Daylight but only cowboy shit, go to Prairie Pimps.
You see, it's freaking. That was. Well, heck, we had my branding. Freaking, me and all my buddies, we got kicked off of fucking old day hugging. Fucking.
Oh yeah,
We got
I got warned a couple times on that
so
one.
we got kicked off because we're fucking hilarious, and specifically, I guess some people don't have as good a sense of humor as I do. So I wound up making that thing and with a couple of my buddies while we were. But yeah, it definitely freaking kind of weeded out the weak links.
Yeah. Well, no, and I like how you guys do your page, because every now and then, like you'll see a whole bunch of memes from there, and then somebody will say like, "Hey, knock it off! Like we're doing cowboy shit here," and I like that, because like my page, I like my group, I didn't do it just for cowboy shit. I did it for just mostly it was for the memes that I wouldn't post out to the normal public.
Yeah.
That's what I would post on the group. Yeah. And you guys did kind of the same thing, except it's like, no, like let's do cowboy stuff, and then like that's what I like about it.
See,
and then that other group was just like, it was so much like, what was it, conversation time. How many pieces of rubber do you put on the other side of your saddle horn?
Whenever I first made Prairie Pimps, I'd post like conversation time, like I posted anything.
Jesus Christ! It like, because and that group that it was in was a pretty good group initially. But then it just turned into just another equine group where just nothing but horse Karens talking about fucking bullshit. No, like, I want to see somebody choking down a cow. I want to see somebody roping a bear. I want to
fucking rope a bear so goddamn bad I can't see straight. I've been trying.
Like, I don't know. like I don't want to remember it either. Like I just want to rope one, and like I don't. Whatever happens, happens. If I die, I die. I just like I
Exactly.
want that to happen.
No, I'm gonna ear tag it. Fuck that. I got a
Yeah.
lime green ear tag with number 69 on it, and my brand. I'm ear tagging that motherfucker.
Well,
I'm gonna
see,
choke it down and ear tag it.
but when somebody asks me about it, like I don't want to have a story for them. I just want to be like, you know what? I shook out a loop, and the next thing I know, somebody said, "Hey, you fucking branded a bear."
Yeah.
that's what I want to see. Like
Yeah.
that's
This
what I want
is
to
a normal
do.
day at the office. Yeah.
Yeah, or you're just like, what happened?
Just nonchalant about it. Like, yeah, I roped the bear. So what?
I don't know. I don't know. Something happened, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then but then when we got conversation time, which neoprene cinch did you find galled your horse the most? All of them. All of them. Every one of the motherfuckers. That's how many.
Yeah. Freaking. Oh man.
Oh. Which Tractor Supply bit did you find the most useless?
What? Who makes the best Tom Thumb bit that you ride?
Right. Yeah. Who makes the best mechanical hackamore?
Hey, I have a hackamore. I have a mechanical hack with a freaking bike chain across the nose. I call that one of my mirror ponies. You know.
Yeah.
Mirror motherfucker.
They'll come here. That's for sure. Like
Yeah. I hate to break out my mirror pony equipment, but every now and again it's necessary.
Yeah, there's a time and a place for it, but there's
Yeah.
Oh man,
And I damn sure don't keep them there, but
horse people
just
are
enough to
the
get the point
worst.
across.
Horse people are the worst.
Oh yeah,
God damn,
they're fucking insufferable.
Absolutely awful. Well,
yeah.
Fuck, Rowdy, we've been at it for 2 hours and 35 minutes.
You bet, man. Freaking, man, I appreciate you letting me on the podcast and everything.
No, man, it was fun. I'm glad you came on. I appreciate it. I enjoyed the conversation. I think, I don't know how many world problems there are, but I think we solved most of them.
Yeah, I mean, or at least got a good handle on them.
I mean, I got a real good start.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like best start you could ask for, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, can't really beat it with steak,
Where can all the single ladies find you at?
Oh shit, Facebook's the easiest, or freaking what the fuck's it called? Snapchat, whatever the fuck it's called.
Snapchat. There you go.
Yeah, it's beer, broncs, and shit, all one word. It's in, not and. Yep.
Beer, broncs, in, shit.
Shit.
There you go.
3 broncs and shit.
There you go. All right, go find him.
Yep.
Go have his babies and whatever. And
yeah.
Hey, on that note, let's move your ass. We're burning daylight, huh?
Sir.